What's belief? I got this for you here. It's good. Tom's high school science teacher says to the class, the Easter story is nothing but a myth. Jesus not only didn't raise from the grave, but there's no God in heaven who would allow his son to be crucified in the first place. Obviously, this is a modern story. It's okay nowadays for a teacher to deny God to a class. That doesn't bother the ACLU. But it's when a teacher says God does exist that you start coming into problems. So Tom, clearly not a member of the ACLU, he stands up and says, sir, I believe in God and I believe in the resurrection. Oh, really, says the teacher, his voice dripping with sarcasm. You can believe what you wish to, of course, but the real world excludes the possibility of miracles like the resurrection. The resurrection is a scientific impossibility. No one who believes in miracles can also respect science. And then the teacher proposes an experiment. Okay, going to a refrigerator, he produces a raw egg. And he holds it up and says, I'm going to drop this egg on the floor. Gravity will pull it toward the floor, and the egg will most certainly break apart. And he looks at Tom and says, now Tom, I want you to pray a prayer right now and ask your God to keep this egg from breaking when it hits the floor. And if he can do that, you'll have proven your point, and I'll have to admit that there's a God. Tom thinks on this for a moment, and then he stands up. Dear God, I pray that when my teacher drops the egg, it will splatter into 100 pieces. And also, Lord, I pray that when the egg pieces break, the teacher will have a heart attack and die. Amen. The class gasps in shock and then sits there in stunned silence. The teacher stands there for a moment. He doesn't move. He doesn't release the egg. He stands. He looks at Tom. He looks at the egg. Looks at Tom. Then he looks back at the egg. And he takes the egg and he puts it back in the refrigerator. Doesn't say a word. To the class he says, class dismissed.